Hey guys, welcome to the Red Vault again. This is Tolga SERT. Today we have 4 different Dave Mustaine signature guitars from 4 different brands. So today is like an early Christmas for me because a dear friend of mine brought his 3 different Dave Mustaine signature guitars to me to my hometown, and I have only this day to shot 3 or 4 different videos. So this is the comparison of 4 different Dave Mustaine signatures from 4 different era from 4 different brands. So let's see what we have in here. Today we have Gibson KV Pro Dave Mustaine signature, and then we have an ESP LTD DV8-R, and then we have VMNT Angel of Death, and then we have Dave Mustaine's current signature, Dave Mustaine Flying V IXP. The Gibson KV Pro is mine and I spent quite time with it, and I played LTD a few times before. Also I played a different VMNT Angel of Death once, but I have no idea about this Gibson Flying V. Also my friend dropped those guitars half an hour ago and I didn't even open the cases, so I have no idea about the conditions, I have no idea about the tunings, because I want to demonstrate my genuine reactions to those guitars without any prejudice. So I will check each guitar in a chronologic order. So first we will check the Gibson, and then LTD, and then Dean, and then Gibson. Now let's start. So first we have Gibson KV Pro Dave Mustaine. Let's open it up. It's a true beauty. It's definitely a true beauty. It's truly beautiful guitar. In here we have a poplar body with maple neck and ebony fretboard. Also we have Kahler 3310 fixed bridge with Jackson J80C bridge pickup and Bill Lawrence XL500 neck pickup. The scale of the guitar is 25.5 inch and we have 24 frets. Actually there's nothing else much to say. It's truly a historic guitar. It's from 1994. Also you can find its own video in this channel. I won't talk about this guitar in detail. Now let's hear this beast. By the way, the guitar was in C standard tuning with 12 to 54 gauge strings, and yesterday, the last night, I tuned it up to the E standard because of those 3 guitars. But this drastic change in the tuning has made no difference and it's quite stable right now. But let me check first again just in case. Now let's hear the Gibson KV Pro. It's marvelous, it's beautiful, it's magnificent. Also, I'm pretty sure all of those three guitars are also killer guitars, but this guitar became iconic with Dave Mustaine, and Dave Mustaine became iconic with this guitar, and because of it, it's something different. There's nothing else much to say actually. If you want more about this guitar, you can check its own video. Now let's check the ESP LTD DV8-R. Now let's see what we have in here. Actually, I know what we have in here. Let's lose the gig bag. So this time we have an LTD DV8-R. The main difference between those two guitars, the size of the body actually. It's quite bigger than a regular King V. You know, the wing size of a regular King V is 52 centimeters, but this one goes to 57 centimeters, so it's quite like a double Rhodes. It's kinda bigger, but this time we have Seymour Duncan JB and jazz pickups. Besides that, we have a Tom Pro's Tune-o-matic bridge instead of Kahler. Also, we have Seymour Duncan JB and jazz pickups. Actually, Dave Mustaine used Seymour Duncan JB on its US-made Jacksons too, but Japanese version of Jackson Mustaines came with J80C and J90C time to time. Dave Mustaine kept the JB in ESP era 2, but he switched the bridge. Also, still we have 25.5 inch scale with 24 extra jumbo frets. The neck profile is quite same. Now let's hear this one. So the tuning of this guitar was D standard, but I tuned it up to the E standard right now. Also, we have locked sparsel tuners this time, so let's check the tuning stability too. This is also an amazing guitar, and I have to say the neck of the guitar is quite better than the Jackson KV Pro, but it can be because of the gauge of the strings, because I think the tension in these strings are much lower than the 12 to 54, but it's quite nice. Also, this time we have mahogany body instead of poplar, and as far as I know, poplar has more mids than mahogany. Mahogany provides more of a low-endish sound, but I think the tone of this guitar is much crispier than the Jackson, but it can be because of the pickups, it can be because of the pickup heights. There are lots of different components, but the response of the guitar is as good as a Jackson. Now let's check the Dean. Now let's open up this one. The graphic is flawless, the graphic is really brutal, and it haunts me since the day one, since 2010. Let's see, it's the Korean version. Yeah, I played an Indonesian once, but it's the Korean. Now let's talk about the specs. Again, we have a mahogany body like LTD, and we have two pneumatic bridge. Again, it's also Tone Pros again, as I know. We have Dave Mustaine's signature Seymour Duncan live wire active pickups. Yeah, it's active because we have a battery socket in here. Also, again, 25.5 inch scale with 24 frets, extra jumbo frets. But this time the wing size of the body is 54 centimeters, so it's not that big as an LTD, as a giant V, but it's not that small like a King V. Now let's connect this beast. I was a dumb. All of the guitars came with D standard, and I pulled my Jackson up to the E standard for no reason. As tuner, we have Grover Mini tuners, Mini Grover or Grover Mini. Let's roll. The impact of the active pickups on the tone is definitely something, but it's not something for me. I can even see the lost dynamics in the waveforms. You know, in the waveforms of Jackson and LTD, there's a huge difference between the attacks and the releases, but the waveform of the Dean goes like a log without any peak actually, and it can be good for Megadeth sound, it can be good for stage, but it's not good for me. I'm not enjoying it. Besides that, I can still feel I'm holding the configuration of Dave Mustaine. I know every brand built all of those guitars just as he wanted at that time of his life, and I can feel the same neck profile with same feelings, same everything. Feel like there's not much of a difference between three guitars. However, I would go with Jackson first, and then LTD, and then Dean. Now the Gibson can be a definer, can be a game changer changer for me because simply I don't like the brand Gibson. It's not something for me, but with Dave Mustaine's specifications, it can be something good. Now let's put this Dean aside for a while and then let's check the Flying V. Let's open up this side first. You are observing my first contact with this guitar. I never hold one. I never hold a Dave Mustaine Gibson before. Let's check this one. Yeah, Flying V, not my thing. I need pointy points, edgy points. You get me? The rounded edges are not for me. It's not different. It's not different than Jackson or Dean or LTD. We have the same neck in here. We have Mini Grover, or we have Seymour Duncan Trash Factor passive pickups this time with mahogany body and mahogany neck with ebony fretboard, 25.5 inch scale, 24 frets. I watched the video of Glenn Fricker from SMG Studios and he really roasted the paint, but this one is natural and I think the polish is quite nice. The wood is quite nice. We don't have any marks around. Now let's hear this one. But first, tuning again. This is also in D standard. Actually, I don't recommend those quick tuning changes. Now let's go. Interesting. It's really interesting. It's a piece. Actually, changing to the trash factors from live wire active pickups is a right choice. I can hear the dynamics. I can see the dynamics in the waveforms also. As I said, I'm not a fan of Gibson, but I can be a fan of this guitar. I actually love the response of the guitar. Even on the bridge pickup, I can adjust the punch of the sound with my own hands. And that's the very reason why I love passive pickups. Definitely marvelous. Because of sentimental reasons, because of psychological reasons, Jackson is still unbeatable for me. You know, it's something different. You know, this guitar is magnificent and it's my absolute second choice, but the Jackson is still unbeatable for me. Sound-wise, all of those guitars are killer. Design-wise, all of those guitars are amazing. Spec-wise, there's nothing to say. As a conclusion, I can say he didn't change his specifications during 4 different eras of his guitars. You know, the Jackson, the Dean, the LTD or ESP. By the way, LTD has a rosewood fretboard, but the ESP version of it comes with an ebony fretboard. And Gibson, all of those guitars have the same specifications, same feelings, with design-wise differences, but feeling of all of those are the same. I will talk about each guitar in their own videos with more detail, but this was Dave Mustaine signature guitars from 4 different brands. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please don't forget to give a like to the video and subscribe the channel. It's really important for the growth of this channel. Till the next video, see ya.